Good morning, everyone. So, I welcome you all for the FDP on PyTorch-based deep learning application development computer vision, given by Mr. Hariharan Veerappan, Embedded Solution Architect, NEVI, Chennai. Mr. Hariharan has over 14 years of experience in complete end-to-end embedded software design and development, which includes embedded Linux software system design and development of embedded Linux Android device drivers, protocol stack and telecommunication standards implementation, embedded firmware design, development and testing, device driver development for Windows platform, BSP device driver application development based on VxWorks platform. He's a professional trainer for embedded Linux device driver firmware programming. He has a strong technical skills in the area of embedded systems, BSP porting and development, telecom domain, open source, software stack development, and application development. I welcome you, sir. Now I invite Mr. Hariharan to take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Today we will see about the computer vision and OpenCV APIs and implementation over here. The basics of computer vision. The computer vision is a process of how the computer understands a digital image or video. That is a computer vision. It's something similar to human vision. Whenever we are seeing some object, how we are understanding that particular object or anything, that how we are understanding. For example, if suppose there is a ball coming towards us, then we will catch the ball or we will move away from the ball. Like that, we will do the reaction. The similar way, the computer vision is the whole concept that helps to understanding of the images and the videos can be feed to the computers. Basically, that it understands the image and it automate the task like a human vision visual system. It's something we can say that if suppose we are continuously feeding with the images or video frames, if suppose if the computer vision system wanted to capture somebody which is matching with the for example, we may have the images, lot of images which can be a suspect list or those kind of a thing, that it can able to check that complete frames and it gives alert something like this suspect list of people came here, like that. It's something like automating the task. For example, if suppose in a for example, in a manufacturing environment, if suppose if it using the computer vision, we can able to detect whether that particular product is proper or not. If it is not proper, it automatically detects. It has to detect that. It has to understand. The computer has to understand that that particular product is a faulty product and that it has to be removed from packaging. That it automatically does the job, which is similar to the human visual system, which is called like a computer vision. The computer vision is a family of artificial intelligence systems which extracts the images, extracts the information from the images basically. And the computer vision deals with different format of data, something like a video sequence, something it can be a multiple camera views, like a security system. For example, we wanted to track a person from he is moving from one camera to another camera. Like that, if you wanted to track him completely within a store or within a mall, that it involves like multiple cameras and synchronizing with respect to that person or object, how it was moving, that it can be done with the multiple cameras is also a format of computer vision. And we have the multidimensional data from a 3D scanner. If suppose that we wanted to have the data of 3D, three-dimensional data, that can also be used for the computer vision understand, in order to make that the system to understand that what is happening, what is the information present in it, that we can able to use that basically. And basically that whenever the system tries to extract the data from real world, it can be something like a numeric or it can be like a symbolic information. For example, uh, we take an example of a manufacturing system in that the the products are moving. If suppose there is a the product is failed product or the seal is opened or something like that, it will be something like represented in terms of a symbolic information like that the that product is failure product, like that it will be uh, represented accordingly. And the computer vision provides some kind of a transformation of visual images into description of the world. For example, we can see something like the transformation of visual images into description. For example, that we can take an example of manufacturing industry. The product is going, the product is, we will take the description whether that product is good or bad. Something simplified description. It is good or bad. If it is bad, it has to be removed. If it is good, it has to be packaged. Like that, it will be the visual images will be described according to the world. In case of a security system, we will capture the human movement. According to the movement, we will detect something like whether it is a person is in a normal state or doing some misactivity, that we can able to detect. And that it's a kind of transformation of that visual images of a person doing a misactivity, that will be converted into the description, so that description can be useful to that for action, to take that action, that the description is useful over here. And it's something like the description which makes sense. For example, if it is a normal person, we no need to do anything. If it is a abnormal person, that it has to be description detection of the visual image with that he is abnormal person, which makes sense to thought process, to do the processing and it takes appropriate actions. It helps basically the computer vision. Yeah, the the process of computer vision is involves different steps, which something like we will be having a camera which acquires a digital image, or it can be something like maybe acquisition is something like capturing a frame by frame over here. That's something like it can be from a camera, which we will do the acquisition of real time frames from a camera, that we will do the acquisition. For example, if suppose we already have a recorded video file that we wanted to do the capture one by one, that we will do accordingly. In the acquisition is a process of capturing a frame by frame from the real world or from the video file, or it can be a single image basically. And we have an option, once the frame is captured, we will do the processing that processing is something kind of that if suppose we can do the processing in terms of something like the grayscale is suitable to detect for some scenarios, the RGB, the color gray will be suitable for some scenarios. That kind of a processing will be done in the processing state, and we do that analysis, something like complete doing the analysis. For example, we wanted to remove the background and exactly locate the persons present over here. Like that, maybe we can do the analysis, and we can, and then we have the option to extract the image, extract the information needed from that particular image, and from the extraction we will get the description what we are from the extracted information. We will make something like a description. For example, we have defined we have some kind of a system to detect car going at the faster speed. First, we will what we will do, it's something like we will have a completely acquire the all the transports are going over the road. Once it goes, that we have to detect that all the vehicles like lorry, car, everything has to be detected, and it has to be processed, and we have to check whether that particular vehicle is moving at a faster rate or it is a normal rate. And based on the description we will do the action, something like uh, he's an overspeed, it has to be penalized, that we will do accordingly over here. This is the process of complete computer vision over here. And we will be having something like different process or different frameworks are available in order to do that. Each and every process of computer vision that it can able to do with the different frameworks that we will see over here. And we have a computer vision which has a different subdomains like event detection or video tracking. Event detection in the sense something is happening, that detecting that event, and video tracking, it's something like we wanted to track a person and we wanted to do any object recognition. For example, if someone comes, this is the person. If a dog comes, it is a dog. It is a cat. It is a like that. It is detecting the object and recognizing the object over here, which is called object recognition. And we have a motion estimation. For example, one person is walking. This is something like motion estimation, like a speed estimation of the car. All those things will comes under this motion estimation. And we wanted to create something like a scene reconstructions that will be used for creating the videos. In that case, that we will use scene reconstruction, and we will do the different option like 3D, three-dimensional post estimation and scene modeling, all are a subdomains of computer vision. Yeah. Here we can see something like how the relation between the computer vision and deep learning and artificial intelligence. It's something like, yeah, computer vision is the one which is an front end which acquires the images and it provides for learning, or it has to be detected. All those things will be done by the computer vision. Computer vision is the front end for that basically over here, and which provides that information to the deep learning frameworks. It can able to learn that what is happening, something like artificial intelligence, and it basically learns by itself that it is going to happen in the three process over here. And we will see here the OpenCV, which is something like a open source computer vision library, which has the which has been developed with the C++ and Python and Java interfaces, and it it is a cross-platform library which runs on Windows, Linux, Mac OS, iOS, and Android. It's the OpenCV also provides some kind of a best performance on multi-core environment, and it also uses that hardware acceleration of heterogeneous computing platform. OpenCV has been supported with the different deep learning framework, which is TensorFlow and Torch or PyTorch. PyTorch is the one that we are going to see over here, and Caffe kind of deep learning frameworks over here. Here we will see how can we install OpenCV over here. Maybe you can do that with the help of command prompt. Run as administrator. And then we can do some kind of a pip is the one which installs that for the Python packages over here. pip3 install OpenCV-Python, which I think I was typed wrong. Which basically fetches from the internet and install it on the system basically. Yeah, actually I have mistaken Python over here. Here we got something like requirement is already satisfied, which means that I have already installed the OpenCV Python. Because of that, it has been installed over says already satisfied. If it is your new machine that we can use, then confirm that you can install it properly over here. And once we done with that installation, maybe we can use. I have the platform called PyCharm. Is the one IDE I'm going to use for this development. PyCharm is the professional Python integrated development environment, which is more, it has two different versions, commercial, and we have the community edition. Community edition is completely pure for the pure Python development. It has, in that I have the console over here. Yeah. In the Python console, maybe we can check whether we could install that OpenCV in the proper manner. I am trying with the import CV2. CV2 is the OpenCV Python module, which I am trying to import on the Python console. It got imported properly, which means that OpenCV Python module has been installed in the system in a proper manner over here. And we have the option to take care of file over here. That may be a file to read that we will use over here. Maybe I'm going to create how can we read from the file and display the file over here? I'm going to use a new file. The file name image demo.py over here. Yeah, I just created. In that, I'm going to do import CV2. I'm imported that OpenCV library over here. And in order to read from the image, I'm going to use a function called cv2.imread, and then the file name and flags that I'm going to use over here, which provides a frame. I'm going to use img equal cv2.imread. Maybe I'm going to do sample dot jpg comma cv2 dot uh, I am read color. Maybe I'm going to read the color, and then I'm going to use something like a cv2 dot image im show. Then I'm going to do the window name, the image demo, and I'm going to show that img over here. And once it is done, maybe I'm going to use something like cv2 dot wait key, and I'm going to wait for the key to press. Once it is pressed, it is going to be something like a cv2 dot destroy all windows over here. Or yeah, this is the one that I'm going to do. I'm going to read a frame from sample.jpg, and I'm going to show it over here, and I'm waiting for the key, so that will once the key is pressed, it will come out of the um, out of the loop, and it destroys the windows over here. That we will see. In order to do that, I'm going to create a sample.jpg over here. Maybe I'm having user Nivi, and then the file name is something like PyCharm projects, and we have the PyTorch over here in the image demo. I'm going to copy a file into it. Maybe maybe I'm going to copy a sample file // projects. I'm going to copy this Python logo over here to here, and I just copied. Yeah. I'm going to rename this as a function sample.png over here, and the sample dot I'm going to use the same over here, sample.png, which basically reads. ImRead is the function which reads from the image file and generates like a pixel format, and it provides to show over here. I'm going to run this, run over here, run image demo. Yeah, this we got something like a Python logo image has been uh, read and it has been shown over here. And whenever I am pressing any other key, it got destroyed because it waits for the key cv2.wait and it got over here. And the img is the format that we have over here. For example, instead of the im read color, which is an color format, if for example we wanted to do the grayscale read the image file in a grayscale format, that we can able to do with the imread underscore grayscale over here. Now if suppose I am running it again, yeah, now we got the output in the format of grayscale basically. And apart from this, the OpenCV is used in various processing, something like photoshopping and photo editing. All those things uses some kind of a OpenCV processing in the back end basically over here. This provides some kind of something, how can we read a file and display the file over here, and maybe we can use this img is the frame which is read from the sample.png over here. And if suppose we wanted to do some kind of a writing image, then we can use cv2.imwrite is the function that we can use. For example, if suppose we wanted to convert that grayscale into different format, I'm going to write. Once we done, maybe I'm going to do cv2.im write the file name over here. The file name I'm going to do something like test.png, comma the img is the data frame over here. Now I'm going to run. Which generated the outputs over here. And if suppose we seen the function over here, it has been created with the test.png. If suppose we open this file, which is a grayscale converted output of a sample.png over here. Yeah, this is since that we have read that sample.png in the grayscale format, and we got the image frame of img, and img has been written like a test.png, and we got the output of the grayscale formatted output over here. And this is something like how can we read from the how can we read from a image file and displaying on the screen, or something like how can we use that, how can we grab that image and having it in the image frame which is an img over here. And is similar to that, we can use the format something like CV2 video capture, which we can use it to capture a video frame or read from the video file, that we can able to do that. Here we will see how can we do that over here. I'm going to close this, yeah, which is running. Maybe I will press something, yeah. I'm going to do something, yeah, kind of a new Python file, which is an video demo.py over here, which here we are going to capture frame over here, and we are going to show that frame accordingly. For example, I'm going to do import CV2 over here, And once it is imported, maybe I'm going to use the capture equals capture device equals cv2 dot video capture of 0, which is something like 0 is the first camera device I'm going to use for this. And once it is done, maybe I'm going to do while true, it is a continuous loop, and I'm going to capture the frame, something like return comma frame equals capture dot read over here, which reads and return the frames over here. And once it is done, I'm going to do something like a cv2. Once the frame is read, and I'm going to do im show, and window name is video demo comma something like a frame over here. Once it is done, I'm going to use something like if cv2 dot wait key. I'm going to wait for 25 milliseconds over here, and 0 cross ff equals, for example, q. If it matches with the q, then maybe I'm going to break this loop over here. Once it got break from the loop, I'm going to do capture dot release. I'm going to release that whichever the capture device over here, and I'm going to do cv2 dot destroy all windows over here. Now we will see how it works. I'm going to run this video demo. Yeah, this basically captures from a camera and shows onto the display over here. It's something like it continuously captures and updates over here. This is something like in a real-time scenario, we can use this to capture it, yeah, frames from the real world camera sensors, and we can use that to continuously process and update accordingly over here. I'm going to press Q, it will get close. Yeah. Q. It has been closed over here, and once it is done, this is something like that we wanted to capture from a camera and capture the frames frame by frame into the from the for example, here we are doing initializing capture initialization of capture over here, and here we are reading each frame from capture device over here, and once we have captured, we are showing the captured frame over here. Captured frame with the help of IM show that we are capturing over here, and we are waiting for a key so that the refresh will be proper, and we can able to exit from that loop as well in a good manner. That for that we are waiting for a key over here, and once it is done, we are releasing a capture device. Releasing a capture device over here, and we are destroying all the windows. All the windows used for showing the videos that showing the captured frame by frame, that we are destroying the windows over here, that which destroys all the window. This is something like that we can able to capture the frame using from the camera sensor over here. And once it is done, maybe I'm going to use some kind of a the similar way. Instead of capture instant number, we can do that with the help of a file name, that we can able to do that with the file name over here. I have the file name. Maybe I can use some sample sample over here. The sample is, I'm going to use sample.view type. Yeah, I have the file called test over here, test.mp4, and I'm going to copy this into PyTorch over here. And yeah, maybe we can use, instead of test capture, maybe I'm going to use something like test.mp4 over here, and I'm going to run this. This basically grabs from video file, and it continuously updates into the over here. Basically, it the yeah. This basically read from the MP4 file, MPEG-4 file, and reads the frame by frame from the MPEG-4 file, and it's showing on the display over here. This is something like basically OpenCV is an front end for a complete computer vision, and OpenCV is used to basically acquire, in the process of computer vision. OpenCV will be used for acquire, and some processing will be done using a OpenCV library, helps to do that basically over here. Once we done, if suppose we wanted to do some kind of a writing into the video that we wanted to do, that then we can use the video writer. For example, we wanted to write the data of video frames in a video format, then we can use video writer over here. Now we will see how can we do the video write demo over here. I'm having a file with the video writer, video write.py over here. Yeah, I'm going to do import CV2, and I'm going to do the capture CV2 dot video capture of 0 over here. I'm going to read from the camera, and while true, I'm going to quit. In order to do that, return comma frame equals capture dot read over here. And once we got read, I'm going to do cv2.im show, then window name video demo, and then I'm going to do a frame over here. And once it is done, maybe we can use something like if cv2.wait key of 10 equals something like q over here, and then it can be used for break over here. Yeah, break, and I'm going to do something like cv2 dot capture dot release and cv2 dot destroy all the windows over here. And in order to do that, I'm going to do the video writer over here. Video writer, in order for the video writer, I'm going to create something like the video frame format over here. For that, I'm going to use out device equals cv2 dot video writer over here. In the video writer, the arguments are something like the file name, the output.avi is the file name, and I'm going to use the format 4cc, and then FPS, the FPS I'm going to define the frames per second, how it has to be 25 frames per second over here, and then I have the width and height over here. Width equals maybe 640 and height equals maybe 480 over here. That I'm going to do the height comma over here. And in order for the 4cc, I'm going to use something like 4cc yeah 4cc over here cv2 dot video writer 4cc over here. Inside that, I'm going to use the format like xvid over here, star xvid over here, which creates Kodak Kodak for that output AVI creation over here, and which something like this. And once it is done, once it is capture the frame, I'm going to write into the out dot write the image, something like I'm going to use a frame over here, which writes the frame into this. And once it is done, I'm going to do out dot release over here. Now, whenever we run this, I'm going to run this demo video write. I'm going to run this. Maybe, yeah, so I have to give color over here, which maybe something like cv2 dot imread color over here. Sorry, it has to be like yeah, this basically does the capture and it updates over here. I'm going to quit. do Q. Yeah. Uh, Maybe I will have it something like this, which equals Q. Maybe it has to get break over here. Um, it has been created with the sample file. So it is not closed properly. Because of that, it was the issue. Maybe I will do one thing. Maybe I will do something like I will capture X frames, 10, maybe 100 frames, while X less than 100 over here, and we will do something like X equals X plus 1 over here. Now we will see that something I'm going to do write demo. This basically captures 100 frames, and after 100 frames are captured, uh, it will come out of the loop, and maybe we can see over here the file has been created. This is not playable. Why? 1 second. Sorry. Width, height. Yeah. Now we have the file over here, which basically captured the 100 frames, and it got updated over there. Yeah, basically. It's something like we are doing with the 25 frames. Because of that, we have got 4 second, 25 frames per second into 4 into 25, which is an 100 frames is present in this video over here. Yeah. Yeah. Then now we will go into the image representation, and how can we do that accordingly over here. That we How can we do the processing over here? For example, if suppose we wanted to do something like a line or rectangle or circle that we wanted to draw over there, then we can use different functions called cv2.line and cv2.rectangle or cv2.circle. If suppose we wanted to do something like a polygon, then we can use the cv2.polylines kind of APIs that we can use over here. Maybe I'm going to show something like I'm going to use over here something like cv2.rectangle over here on the frame. Maybe I'm going to do something why it is needed that we will see over here. Maybe I'm going to do 240 x y over here, x comma y and y comma 0, maybe 200 comma 150 over here, up to something like we can have something like 400 comma something like 350 can be done, and we have the color something like the BGR, maybe I'm going to give blue only component over here, then our rectangle will be present inside in the format of color blue over here, that we will see over here. Whenever we run this, sorry, maybe we can use this with camera instead of maybe a video file. I'm going to use this over here, and I'm going to run this, run video demo. Yeah, here we can able to see there is a blue line. Why it is needed a blue line? If suppose we are developing an application in order to mark something like this is the region that if suppose we wanted to do object detection, then this is the object like that we wanted to do the region of interest that we wanted to show, that we can use a rectangle or polygon. If suppose we wanted to mark something like the structure of the object that we wanted to denote, then we can use a polygon. And if suppose we wanted to put some text over here, for example, I'm going to put some text, for example, cv2 dot text maybe cv2 dot put text dot put text over here in the frame. I'm going to do something like a video demo over here, and it has to be in the format something like maybe I'm going to do maybe 500 is the width and 400 is the one over here. Then we can have something like a font cv2 dot font maybe I'm going to use a font Hershey complex over here, and we have the font scale. Font scale can be a size. Maybe I'm going to give a size of 20 over here, and the color, maybe I'm going to give the color BGR. I'm going to give the green color over here. BG blue and green, red are 0. Green component is 255, so that we will see that the text in a green color. Yeah. Yeah. I have given very big one, because of that it was showing like this, and maybe I'm going to do something like a smaller, maybe the X maybe 10, so that it will be over here. I'm going to run it again after stopping, and I'm going to run this demo. Yeah, here we got the output of something like text over the image frame. We can add a text, we can add a rectangle, we can add a line that we can able to add it accordingly over here. And we shall move forward with the image basic parameters, something like we can say the image height, the active image area, in that image width and image height. The image resolution is something like a horizontal, we can say that the pixels or something like the deep in case of a very big picture, we will term something like dots per inches that we will define accordingly. And bit depth is the one which is something like each pixel is represented with how many number of bits. Basically, if suppose we can represent a bit with in terms of 8-bit or 16-bit or something like a 24-bit or 32-bit kind of we can represent that each bit pixel value that we can able to represent. According to that pixel bit depth, our clarity of image will come accordingly over here. And the image representation over here, for example, if suppose we taken each box as something like each pixel, for example, here we have a blue color pixels, here we have a green color pixels, and here we have light shaded pictures pixels. It's basically a combination of blue, green and red component, and each pixels are represented like this. For example, the similar way, whenever we do the processing, the image pixels are represented in the frame like this. Yeah, this is the same way that each pixels will be present from here to here, that will be present. For example, here we have the 640 cross 480 is our resolution for this to display that we are using. In that, we can say that there will be a 640 pixels on the horizontal line and 480 pixels on the vertical accordingly over here. That is similar to this. For example, if suppose here we have the pixel representation, all the data are with the light color pixels, which is combination of some combination of red, blue and green component accordingly over here. And in order to process that we can use if suppose we wanted to change something or modify something or access the pixels, then we can use the method like an array that we can able to use it in order for changing that particular pixel basically over here. Maybe I am going to use, for example, here, once we copy it, I am going to use something like in the frame, maybe frame, I'm going to use x100 comma something like 10 over here, which is I'm going to copy the color. Maybe I'm going to copy a color. Print over here. This basically provides some kind of the color pixel value of that particular location that it provides basically. Now we can able to run this video demo. It's something like the colors values are 76, 63 and 49 like that. The colors are coming over there. Now we can able to change that color maybe that we can able to update the colors accordingly over here, modify the pixels. I'm going to change, for example, uh, um, the frame of 100 comma 10. I'm going to assign something like the color, maybe 255 comma 255 comma 255, so that white color we should get over here. And I'm going to apply that same thing for 11th pixel and 12th pixel and 13th pixel over here in the y direction. In the vertical direction I'm changing 14th pixel and 15th pixel. I am changing 6 pixels over there, that we will see how it is look like over here. Here maybe we can able to see something like there is a line which is present over here in 100 comma 10 11 12 13 14 15, that we got the color over here, the white color that which is present. Maybe I'm going to do something like this, maybe for example, I'm going to do something like for maybe for x in range of something like 100 over here, and maybe I'm going to do 100 comma x and updating over here. Yeah. Now I'm going to run this. Now we should get 100 pixels to be get updated. For example, here we got something like a bigger line has been created, which is starts from 0 to 100 pixels, like it has been updated over here. That we have the option, which is something like it's something like x starts with the 100, y will be 0. From here, this is something like a 0 location, and from here x is 100 over here, and y will be something like that in the terms of 100 comma 0, 100 comma 1, 100 comma 2, like that it goes up to 100 comma 100 over here, that it gets completely updated with the pixel value over here. Yeah, this is something like that we can update the pixel value accordingly into that. And if suppose we wanted to do something like get the image size or something like an image format that we wanted to get, that we can use the format something like img.size and img.datatype, that we can able to use it accordingly. For example, here I'm going to use the size equals and data type equals over here dot format of something like frame dot size, maybe frame dot d type over here, that provides some kind of the updates, the what is the data type and what is the frame size, that we will be able to get it accordingly over here. That frame size is 926, which is something like a 640 cross 480 is 926 over here, and then we have the each data type is an integer data type over here that we will see. Maybe we can confirm the calculator. Here we have 640 into 480, that we have 30 each. This is something like a 24-bit representation. Each uh, pixel will be represented with the 3 bytes, maybe into 3, that it provides something like a 921 600, which is an complete image frame size basically over here. And the playing with the pixel value, that we can, if suppose we wanted to do that something like a region of pixels, that we wanted to play over here, that we can able to do that with the help of the providing a region. For example, I'm going to, instead of this, maybe I'm going to do something like the frame with that maybe y1 y2 to x1 x2, maybe I'm going to 100 200 colon something like 100 to 300. I'm going to change the pixels with the 255 comma maybe BGR. I'm going to make it convert into the complete red over here, BGR over here. Now if suppose we run this, it completely changes that the particular color. Index 300. Frame x y1 comma y2 colon x1 comma x2 over here, and maybe I'm going to do this is something like that we wanted to get that access any one of the color component, that we can able to do that with the colon C, and the value that color component will be get updated, and a similar way we can able to get the color component C, that completely, if suppose we wanted to get the BGR, the B is the one that we want, the blue 0 provides a blue output, a blue component value, and 1 provides a green component value, 2 provides a red component value accordingly over here. And then we have the different image color space present in the system is something like a RGB, which is something like a red, green, and blue, which is used in the LCD displays or LED displays or computer monitors are used this RGB format, and YUV is the one which provides some kind of a in luminance and two chrominance values UV over here, and that will be used in some kind of a the uh, older televisions, something like NTSC, PAL, and CCAM kind of systems used that. And we have the option something like a YCBCR, which will be mainly used for the image capture from the camera, and that will be saved like or compressed like JPEG or MPEG that uses the YCBCR format, and some of the displays uses something like hue saturation values, and there is an option something like grayscale. For example, sometimes instead of handling or processing over the RGB, processing on the grayscale is fine. During that cases that it uses the grayscale format, and we have the option something like in order to convert the color space, we have the option something like BGR to gray, like that we can provide and we can convert the color spaces over here. For example, here we wanted to do something uh, something like we can convert that over here. Maybe I'm going to do, if suppose I wanted to do out equals cv2 dot cvt color, the source is a frame, and I'm going to convert it something like a cv2 dot color uh, color bgr, that the color, the default standard is color component. I'm going to convert BGR to gray format, and once it is converted, I am displaying the output over there. Now, if suppose I am running this, we will get that BGR color space to grayscale converted over here. For example, we have put that our frame in kind of a blue color, which has been converted into grayscale over here, that we can able to convert and play with the grayscales formats with the help of OpenCV libraries over here, that it provides something like a different color changing between the color spaces over here, and we can do the some kind of a addition operation. For example, we will take two images and we can able to add and provide it accordingly. For example, maybe I'm going to do something like this. Maybe img equals cv2.im read the file name. Maybe a file name I'm going to do something like the file name sample.png, sample.png, and maybe I'm going to use something like cv2 cv2.mg I am read grayscale format over here, so that I'm going to do something like test equals out plus img over here, and I am going to display the test over here. For example, I'm going to run this. Okay, this was not matched with the size. Because of that, it was the issue. Maybe I'm going to do something like this. Sample.png. I'm going to uh, open with Paint. Paint. I'm going to do resize the pixels. Maybe 480 cross 6. Not red. 480 cross 640. I'm going to save it over here, and I just saved again. Maybe I'm going to run it again. Oh, sorry. I have to change something like this. Uh, 640 and 480 over here. I just saved this. I'm going to run. Yeah, here we can able to see something like two images got added. We can see the Python objects, and we have the real video is running on that. It's something like it got added, and the output frame is addition of two image frames over here. And this basically to do the additions, and we can have something like we can do something a kind of a weighted addition. It's something like from this image this much portion, and this image this much weight, like that we can able to do the addition operation on different image frames, that we can able to do that this OpenCV is the front end, and that will be used to capture the camera, and that from the camera sensor or video frames. And this is the foremost and first step of our complete computer vision, which is something like a acquisition, and does a preliminary pre-processing of the acquired image frame, that we can able to do it with the help of OpenCV over here. This provides a brief introduction about the OpenCV and respective API implementation. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ping me over here. In the next class, we will see about the deep learning fundamentals. Now we have just captured and pre-processed the frames, and now we will do that the next processing of the frames, something like analyzing that captured frame and extracting the information. How can we do the extraction, and from the extraction, how can we get the descriptions, that we will see on the next upcoming sessions over here. Herewith I am done with that. If there is no doubts or clarification, maybe we shall continue tomorrow. Thanks. Have a nice day.
Sir, I have one query.
Yes, ma'am.
If our image is in some other drive, still we can call in this.
Yes, ma'am. If suppose, for example, we have any drive, for example, I'm going to have over here, not the current location, it can be on the any location.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm going to copy this maybe into the colon over here. Only thing is we need to give the complete path over here. colon/sample, which basically gets it wherever our file is present. If suppose our file is in the current location, we can directly give only the file name. If suppose our file is present in another directory, we have to provide some kind of a complete path towards that file name. Yeah. For example, I am using the colon sample.png, which is from the another E drive. From that we are fetching and we are updating into the display over here, or something like this. If suppose we wanted to do some kind of addition, it's something like test equals cv2 dot maybe some kind of a weighted addition that we can able to use with the add weighted function. For example, cv2 dot add weighted over here, and maybe I'm going to use the first one is the output, the current frame, and I'm going to give 90%, and we have IMG, which is 10, weight of 10 over here. Then I'm going to display it accordingly. For example, if suppose we run gamma portion, that sorry, actually that we can do 90%, maybe I mean 0.9, and this is 0.1 over here, and whenever we do, yeah, now we will see something like my image, which is an 0.9%, and the background image, which is the Python logo, which is 0.1%. It's something like 0.1 value. Because of that, my image is showing clearly, and in the background we can able to see something like a Python logo that we can able to see over here, which is very mild over here, that we can able to control with the help of added weightage. Maybe if suppose I give if we add something like a test equal to out plus image, then it will be like a 50-50 percentage. Then if suppose we wanted to do some kind of a added weightage, that we can able to do with the help of add weighted function. Yes. Okay.
So can you please provide with this program so we can just work it and see?
Yes, ma'am. That we will provide this exam, these programs, and also the complete captured session all as well. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. Any application can you suggest what we learned today, like adding images and all? any engineering applications? I mean, definitely there will be. Can you just say one or two? Sir?
Actually, this is something like a to develop an application. For example, we wanted to do in this program, we are planning to do application something like a image classification and something like a detecting whether a person face is good or something like whether it is whether he is feeling good or sad, some kind of that application. For example, in a departmental store, a person is coming out from the store or any stores. It's something like we can it's something like a feedback system, whether he is happy with the product or something like that. If suppose he is not feeling happy with the product, whether he is feeling happy with the product or not, like that, the application that we can able to develop using that uh, the the for upcoming sessions over here. The next tomorrow we are planning with the very basics and fundamentals of deep learning, and day after tomorrow we are planning with the PyTorch framework, and the next one we will be doing something like how can we do the image classification, and then we will do whether he the next session will have something like whether he is feeling good good or bad, sad, something like that. And another session is something like object detecting the object and tracking the object over here in the complete sessions. It's basically this OpenCV is a starting point for a image acquisition in the process of complete computer vision application. The today we have whatever we have seen is the process of acquisition and do the pre-process of that acquired images. How can we do that? These two are seen over here, that maybe we shall do that complete application. This is something like OpenCV is complete, something like the front end for different uh, processing application, like something like object detection, object recognition, all that needs some kind of acquisition mechanism. OpenCV is the acquisition mechanism of image acquisition mechanism accordingly, basically. Yeah. Ma'am, is that fine, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Okay.
any other questions is there? Okay, sir. I think we can end the session for today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.